In Toronto sports. It all begins here on the OSBA's Game of the Week from the Toronto Metropolitan University Mattamy Athletic Centre. Welcome inside. JJ Evison, Ishan Thandi here for what is about to be an unbelievable display of prep basketball. A beautiful event put on here, the OSBA Battle in the Six. Talk to me a little bit about the inception and how happy it is for you to be here doing the event now.
Yeah, I mean, my group members and I are absolutely ecstatic for the Battle in the Six. We've put a lot of work into this. This is months of work, JJ. I think we're even more ecstatic that we got the Beast in the East against the Best in the West. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Absolutely looking forward to this one. It's time now to bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Haley Hopkinson, telling stories from the sideline today. Haley, welcome. All right, so, you know, both teams doing really well early in the season. I, in fact, was in the building on Tuesday when Fort Erie beat Houghton Prep, the runners-up last year. Some really great performances up and down the lineup. Let's take a look at the OSBA standings. Early in the season, still some things to figure out. But, you know, early in the standings, you can still get a sense of where teams are headed and their trajectory, especially asserting dominance early in the year. And you look at the CTA squad from Ottawa coming in 4-2. An unbelievable display early, and they're running really thin.
Very thin. I mean, a very small roster, especially when we look at the size of Fort Erie's roster, especially. I mean, really, they were able to call up a player as well from the CTA Red team as well, and that was Sonny Joseph, and I think that's going to be a big help for their team, especially with their depth.
I mean, you look at Royal Crown, you know, one of the teams, Crestwood Prep, always in conversation for the championship, not off to the best start those years. You look at the West Division, the reigning champs, Ridley College, 3-1 to start the year, tied at the top of the West Division with Fort Erie International Academy. And Fort Erie have a lot of players with NCAA commits, which we'll get to that story a little bit later. And some players still fielding offers, obviously, at this time of the year. You want to assess all the data out there before you make those decisions. And let's start with Fort Erie in terms of players to watch, all right? They've got this kid, 6'8" wing, an absolute burst of energy. Eli Jolin lit it up on Tuesday night. What have you been seeing from him?
Yeah, I mean, the way Eli plays, he's super dynamic. The one thing that I think goes under notice about Eli is his defensive his commitment to defense. Oftentimes, Eli picks up the task of guarding the main ball handler on the opposing team, and I think oftentimes we look at the offensive stats, but not necessarily the impact that Eli has on the defensive side of the ball. Really
quickly for CTA, I mean, as you see some highlights here from Eli Jolin, like you said, athletic, long, gets to the free throw line like any good scorer does. He's absolutely energetic, and we're going to see that tonight. You're going to see him lead the pace, push it for Fort Erie International Academy. But turning over to CTA Gold, they got a guy who is arguably the front runner for MVP in Tony Nagyofor.
Yeah, and Tony has been amazing. Just a big body that the team needs. He holds the team down in the paint. He plays with a dominance presence, and every time he's on the court, you know he's on the court. He asserts his dominance, and he's going to be crucial for them today.
Well, we are nearing tip-off. We will, as we see some highlights here from Tony Nagyofor. This is from the D-League Fall Showcase. So this is, you know, from when he was still developing into the player he is now. Number 35 in red. Loves, you know, being the guy, the go-to guy. Loves the ball in the tight minutes. Late in the game, in a close game, like most players want the ball. He's the guy they're going to give it to in those situations.
Especially today against a very tall Fort Erie team. 4 guys over 6'10". Tony's definitely going to be needed today.
All right, we inch closer to tip-off here. The battle in the six, just about underway. Plenty of anticipation for this matchup. And we will be back with tip-off right after this. Welcome back inside the Toronto Metropolitan University Mattamy Athletic Centre for the start of this OSBA Game of the Week between CTA Gold and Fort Erie International Academy. We're going to re-jump that up. Something went awry there on the tip, and we will restart it all over again. Can I go for starting fives? CTA Gold will have the first offensive look. It is Jeremy Mugerwa, top of the key. He's joined by Ben Fofana, Junior Goff, Mikey Agamon, and Tony Najiofor. Right now, Agamon takes it hard to the rack. First foul, just 15 seconds into the game. Fort Erie starting five. Tutu Akuntak, Promise and Landu, Dangor, Eli Jolin, and Junior Jean-Marie. Agamon from Ottawa, Ontario misses the first. One of these two-way players. He's quick off the dribble. He'll attack downhill. And he doesn't just play with the ball in his hands. He plays a lot of good basketball away from the ball as well, setting screens for his team and keeping the defense a little bit confused.
Yeah, and I love the aggression right off the bat. First play of the game. Get to the free throw line and really set the tone for this team.
Fort Erie could be in a tough spot if you put them into foul trouble, right? They have a lot of great players. If you can take them off the court, I mean, that's advantage CTA Gold. Here is Promise Landu handing it off. The dump off to Akuntak with a hand in the passing lane to disrupt that. Ben Fofana, who's coming over from Ottawa next level last year. Top of the key, Landu works to the right. Good defense there. They'll reset it at the top. Gore can shoot the three. That one's just off the mark. Offensive rebound, Fort Erie. Akuntak hands it off. Landu looking for the entry pass. Good defense. Najiofor ahead of the pack. Jolan there to block it, but he got a little bit of the arm too.
And just like you said, JJ, right? Fort Erie could find themselves in foul trouble in 2 possessions for CTA, 2 fouls at the line.
Eli Jolan trying to time that one up. Just meet him at the summit and get all ball. Just mistimed it. Najiofor misses the first, so 1 for 3 on the first 3 free throw attempts here for CTA Gold. And it looks like Fort Erie International Academy going to make a quick substitution as Anthony Ponga sits at the scores table. Another 1 for 2 trip to the line for CTA Gold, 2-0 early on, and Ponga checks in, Jolin out. Promise and Landu, a native of Quebec. 2 times RSEQ MVP in the Quebec League. Entry pass, Gore working on Agamon. Fading from the mid-range, no good. Rebound fought for, knocked out of bounds. And that's gonna stay with Fort Erie.
And I gotta say to you, JJ, Fort Erie not on the board yet, but I love the aggression and the way they're attacking the paint right now early on.
Already 1 offensive rebound, and they can continue to crash the glass. Promise Landu, topside 3 off the mark. Rebound, couldn't be corralled by CTA. Last touched by Fort Erie. And it will be CTA Gold's ball with a chance to add to their lead early in the contest. Again, CTA playing with 9 players on the bench. Meanwhile, Fort Erie have more than 2 lines ready to go. Malik Giuseppe Kitson is out tonight with a right ankle injury for Fort Erie. An unbelievable class of 2026 wing. Outside, Junior Goff kicks it back out. Najiofor, pump fake, drive to the rack, foul called. That's gonna be a blocking foul. Ponga steps in to take the hit, but he was late.
And Najiofor doing an amazing job, really asserting his dominance in this game, making sure that Fort Erie knows he's here to stay for this game.
So Najiofor back at the line. The 6'9" forward guard combo. Nothing but nylon on the first, and that's how you want to see them fall through. No good on the second, fighting for the rebound, but unable to come up with it was Agamon. Now Fort Erie on the offensive. Dangor left deep at the three-point line, and he can stroke it. Landu working around the top side screen, back to the middle, keeping the dribble alive, kicks it out. Ponga, nothing there. Relocating Dangor, 6 on the shot clock. Good defense from Agamon. Gore trying to get space, doesn't, and travels the feet.
And I love the physicality there from Agamon. Able to meet the center there for Fort Erie. That physicality is going to go a long way this game.
And the officials letting them play it out as well, right? Dangor putting the shoulder into Agamon's chest a couple times, just couldn't clear out the space.
Yeah, and especially with guys like these, right? We want to see the refs let these guys play through some physicality.
Speaking of the officials, today's officials are crew chief Missy McCutcheon, referee Alex Terzic, and the umpire Nemo Mohammadi. That's Terzic there with the ball on the sideline waiting for the clock to be reset. Just having a little clock malfunction now. 3-0, CTA Gold ahead of Fort Erie here. Nemo Mohammadi here as well, the umpire. Very good officiating crew. I've seen the crew chief, Missy McCutcheon, in a lot of different arenas across Ontario. Seems like she's always working.
And I think the experience of the officiating crew goes a long way, especially when we have a big matchup with both these two teams, right? We want experience and we want the officials to let the players play through some contact and not really control the game.
Not only do we want that as fans of the game, but the players want that as well, right? All right, so 8:03 back on the clock here, and we will get back underway with CTA Gold having possession. Agamon to trigger with a full court press here now for Fort Erie. Ponga picking up Goff the whole way. He'll back off slightly and let Goff get over the timeline. Working left, kicks it back. Agamon, 3, back iron, rebound. Ponga finds Landu ahead. They'll scratch that. It's junior Jean-Marie checking in at the last whistle. Promise Landu working left. Kicks it back. Ponga, feet set, catch and shoot, back iron, no. Jean-Marie, offensive rebound. Second chance opportunity, that doesn't go, and Najiofor swallows up the loose ball. Jeremy McGarwa now, works left, sees a lane, gets inside, loose ball. That's gonna be saved by Ben Fofana. He's gonna work on Dangor. Into the key, nice 1-2 step, blocked by Gore. Gore looking to push the pace. There's Promise Landu, accepts the pass, he slows it down. Working on Agamon, gets the step, off glass, no good. Fort Erie able to get the rebound. Jean-Marie kicks it out. Shooting practice for Promise Landu, that's off the front iron. Agamon says, give me that, no more offensive rebounds for you guys. Still 3-0, 6:40 left to go in the opening 10. Fofana uses the screen from Agamon. Kicks it back out on the flare. Stolen. 2-on-1. Landu looking for the lob. It wasn't there. Good defense. Gives them just the easy 2 points for Promise Landu.
And a beautiful finish there from Fort Erie just to get on the board. Great start for them.
Tony Najiofor left alone on the perimeter. Tickles the twine.
And he's going to take that shot all day long, especially if he's got it.
Here's Landu working over the double screen. One-on-one with Goff. Goff doing a good job staying in front of him. Gore works to the left, gets inside off the glass. Count the bucket and the foul. Tough move by Dangor.
And I got to say, JJ, this has been a very physical game early on, especially with both teams attacking the paint the way they are. And you can see there Dangor doing an amazing job getting the ball up over both blockers. Beautiful finish.
Well, Mooselander, the hunt for quality outdoor apparel ends here. Mooselander, a sponsor of this Battle in the Six event. something that's been off to a little bit of a slow start, but both teams getting their legs going now, Ishan, and you think it's just a matter of seeing the ball go through the hoop a couple times before it really widens and the score starts to climb.
Yeah, and I had a conversation actually this morning with the CTA head coach while they were in for shoot-around, and one thing that he was saying was just, we got to get shots up and get used to the depth of the gym, the lighting in the gym. All these things play a factor into it, and as we can see CTA's making their shots right now, I have a feeling it might have something to do with that shoot-around pregame.
Junior Goff, the last CTA gold player to hit one. That three is off the mark. Another offensive rebound. Promise Landu can't get it to go. The throwdown not there either. Here comes CTA out and on the run. Najiofor up and under with just enough English to see that one through. 10-5. CTA gold, doubling up Fort Erie early in this contest. They're going to call a blocking foul as Pierre-Charles Yimga was trying to make his move to the basket. Junior Jean-Marie will head to the bench, giving way to minutes for Davin Larosilier. Larosilier saw some run with the Quebec squad at the 2025 Canada Summer Games. Pongo for three. He's got the response. Correction, they're going to call that a deep two, toe on the line. Goff spinning. Trying to get past La Rosilier, and La Rosilier will have to take on Mugerwa as well. But Mugerwa gets the better of him, just gets to the mid-range off glass.
And I love the physicality they're getting in front of the defender, being able to cut him off, not giving the defender a chance to get much of a contest.
Ponga goes through. Landu working top side. That's going to be an offensive foul. So Fort Erie without fouls to give now. Any foul moving forward will be CTA free throws. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside for a quick break. Be back with more first quarter action here from the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium. It's OSBA battle in the 6.
Charles Hantumakes was the head coach for Fort Erie last season, and now that he's moved on to coach the Pacific team, they have Kemi Osei. Now, Kemi Osei is a fantastic basketball player himself. He was the first player that the Montreal Alliance and the CEBL had ever signed, and with the foundation that Coach Charles laid with team first and individual training laid out already for him, he's the perfect person to take them to the next step and lead this team and all the athletes to victory.
Thank you, Haley. And yes, this basketball community is very tight-knit. You talk to a bunch of players around the OSBA, and they know all the other players. They know the coaches. It's a very great province to build, you know, the foundation of a basketball career in, Ishan. And you know, I'm just getting started with getting to call these games, and these prep kids are just blowing me away. You know, year after year with how physical and how big they are and how they take it so seriously and the understanding of making a career out of it.
Yeah, and to me it also seems like as time goes on, these players are getting more skilled, but also just much more physical and understanding their bodies, understanding strength and conditioning and all that.
Back at the line is CTA Gold Junior Goff, the 6'1" guard, class of 2026. Former OSBA Trillium Division champion back in 2024. 14-7 CTA Gold ahead of Fort Erie here. 4:16 left in the opening frame. Yimga over the timeline, hands it off to Ponga. He'll swing it. Dangor. Promise Landu from three. Another offensive rebound for Fort Erie. La Rosilier kicks it to the corner. Extra pass. Ponga. Back iron. And Tony Najiofor above the crowd to collect that rebound. Here's Goff, works to the left, fouled by La Rosillier, so more free throws upcoming for CTA Gold, who are really leaning on getting to that free throw line.
Yeah, CTA is doing an amazing job drawing contact. We can see here, obviously, the strong take to the rim. Unfortunately, not able to get the finish, of course, but free throws for them, 2 on the line. And Fort Erie being in the penalty this early in the first quarter has got to be a concern for them.
Checking in is Keenan Kanku, the 6'7" forward out of Ottawa, Ontario, wearing number 21 in red. And again, Tony House is going to run this team, all 9 players, all night long. Just keep throwing different matchups at the Fort Erie squad. Goff makes them both, and he'll go for a breather as Jeremy Mugerwa, the Gatineau, Quebec product, heads back onto the court. Landu gets it to TJ St. Louis. He's looking for Junior Jean-Marie to turn the corner. There's nothing there. Good defense by Ibrahim Gass. Jean-Marie inside, back cut, pass off the mark, intended for Yimga.
Now, I got to say, JJ, just because you mentioned him, the CTA coaching staff was very excited today about the potential of Ibrahim Gass today's shooting. They feel like he's going to be able to open up the game for them, and they're very excited to see what he can do today.
I mean, Gass is a U18 national team training camp invite from a few weekends ago, but it's Charles Tung knocking it down from the corner. Promise Landu looking to pull his team back into the slow step. Right back, Junior Jean-Marie playing give and go with Anthony Ponga, but they come up empty. 19-7, 12-point lead, CTA Gold. Mugerwa calling out the play. Picked up by Jean-Marie, gets to the second level, kicks it out, wide open, there's Gass. And he misses everything. Loose ball, Ponga corrals it, pushing the pace the other way. Picks it up, dead ball looking inside. Yimga with that pivot foot, good footwork by number 9. And he finishes, 10-point game. Gass works on the far side. Mugerwa trying to shake his primary defender. He turns it over. It's a 3-on-2. Bounce pass into the lane. Good decision there by Yimga for the pump fake.
Yeah, and beautiful way to draw contact there. Najufor, if we can get him into foul trouble, of course, Fort Erie's going to love that. Strong finish there. Let's see if they can capitalize here at the line.
So that's the second on Najufor. So he'll go and sit the rest of this 154 opening quarter. We haven't seen much due to foul trouble of Eli Jolin either. So hopefully both those guys can be a little bit more disciplined. Their team's going to need both of them if they want to come out with a victory tonight. Gael Bilodeau gets his first minutes for Kemi Osei's squad. He's checking in number 13 in white. Mugerwa works to the left, sends everybody out, tries to get to the lane. It's going to be a shooting 2 foul, and that's going to go against Junior Jean-Marie. He picks up his second.
And Mugerwa doing an amazing job getting his teammates involved in the game early. You can tell he's really the one that conducts this CTA offense.
There's the first for Mugerwa. If CTA can play 4 quarters like this, get into the free throw line like that, they're in a good position to come away with another victory. Off the missed free throw, Charles Tung collects the loose ball. Nice little fadeaway.
And I love his game, J.J. Tung's game. Just so smooth, plays with lots of confidence.
Doesn't try to overdo things, right?
No.
Just takes what's available. Jean-Marie playing with Bilodeau. They're going to work it to the corner. Dangor all the way to the rack off the glass for 2. Jean-Marie going to be called for playing full contact basketball there. While we have a second, just a quick ad from our Henlock Printers. Henlock Printers, integrity, innovation, in print. Visit henlock.com and take your print project to the next level as we get another look at that basket by Gore. Feel free to just, cue me and say Hemlock now. I didn't know you were going to do the replays. Mugerwa makes it a 10-point game again. Kemi Osei wasting no time bringing Promise Landu back onto the court.
And JJ, early on in this fourth quarter, CTA has 9 of their points right now from the free throw line. It just shows you the type of trouble FEIA got themselves into early on in this first quarter.
Well, can they learn from their mistakes and change things going into the next 10 minutes? As we approach 60 seconds left in the first quarter. Dangor shuffles the feet, turns the ball over, and that's kind of been the story of these first quarter for Fort Erie International, just not taking care of the ball well enough.
No, and I mean 5 turnovers right now already in the first quarter. That can't be acceptable.
Gael Bilodeau takes the pass on the steal from Promise Landu, and that's the type of basketball Fort Erie is accustomed to playing. Full court pressure. Mugerwa tries to shake Landu, kicks it. Gas just dials it up. That's going to be off to the right. It's going to stay here with CTA Gold. 32 seconds left in the opening frame. Baseline inbound. Tongue to trigger. Quickly into Gas. Back to the basket. 10 on the shot clock. Tongue picked up by Yimga. Gets the shot off cleanly but misses. Offensive rebound, Gas. Shot clock resets to 14. They leave him alone. Back iron. Another offensive rebound, CTA Gold. To the corner. Gas is relocated. That falls. 26-15, 11-point lead. Quickly ahead. Fort Erie unable to get the shot off at the expiration of the first quarter buzzer. And after 10 minutes played, it's an 11-point lead for CTA Gold. That 10 minutes flew by quickly, and I bet CTA Gold is looking for more action like what they just put up there.
Yeah, definitely. And I got to say, I'm super impressed with Jeremy Murgawa. He has done an amazing job running this offense. He's gotten everyone involved. He's getting shooters involved. Called his own number a couple times as well. He's reached the free throw line. CTA's got to be happy with what they put out this first quarter.
Well, let's take a quick look at how the first quarter transpired. Some first quarter highlights, if you will, and it's been all CTA.
Yeah, and I mean, Najee Four here really set the tone early in the game, being aggressive, was able to get a couple buckets. He is in some foul trouble, but I do expect him to carry on with what he was doing in the second quarter.
And you're looking at just everything at the rack for CTA Gold, and they've really thwarted any transition opportunities for Fort Erie International Academy. Now, Najee Ofor does have 2 fouls, as does Eli Jolin. We haven't seen him impact the game at any point yet, but hopefully the second quarter we get a little more look at what he can do for the Fort Erie squad, who needs something to spark them.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see Fort Erie definitely needs some sort of offensive spark. I think it was unfortunate that Jolin was unable to get into the game really into the first quarter. Kind of had to sit on the bench there, got out for maybe 4 minutes into the first quarter. Definitely want to see him impact the game more in the second quarter.
If you're head coach Kemi Osei in that huddle, what are you telling your team right now?
I think the biggest thing right now is settle down. They just look very on edge on offense. It seems like they're almost forcing looks. I love the way CTA is playing, very calm, relaxed, finding the open man. I want to see more ball movement from Fort Erie. I want to see them kind of play more team-oriented basketball.
Speaking of Eli Jolin, he's actually going to start the second quarter here for Fort Erie International Academy. They've got a bit of a bigger lineup here to start. They did a great job on the offensive glass there in that first quarter, but they couldn't convert on a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, and Fort Erie was absolutely phenomenal on the glass. Like you said, not able to convert on those second chance points, but if they do, I think this is a very different ball game.
Deng and Gore set to inbound the ball as we start the second quarter here from the Mattamy Athletic Centre at the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium. Saturday, November 1st. It's November already. Another missed opportunity at the rack for Promise and Landu. Akuntak couldn't put it back on the offensive rebound, and more of the same to start the second quarter for Fort Erie. Mugarwa hands it off. It'll be Junior Goff working top side to the left, fading. That is a tough basket. Count it, and one.
What a finish there for CTA. That is exactly how you want to start the second quarter. And a beautiful drive here from the lefty. Strong finish.
Right into the body.
And looking to get one more here at the stripe.
You know what I love about that too is he finished the play. He wasn't, you anticipate contact, but he wasn't begging for the foul. His eyes were still locked on the rim, and he got it off with his left hand, and it went through. And that's what great players do. They finish the play. And then it is an old-fashioned three-point play for Junior Goff. He's up to 9 points in the contest. Promise Landu leads the charge the other way. Fort Erie stuck 14 as the second quarter is underway. Working left, relocating Eli Jolin. And he's called for the travel.
Yeah, and that's now two turnovers like that there where Fort Erie just isn't getting their feet set.
Sometimes you gotta just listen to your instincts on the court. If you start thinking too much about it, those types of plays continue to build up. And, that's not winning basketball. Mugarwa turns on the Jets, gets to the rack, blocked on the backside by Yimga, who made up the ground.
Yeah, beautiful block there in recovery after getting beat off the dribble there by Mugarwa.
Here's Nlandu working on the left side. Muscles his way to the rack, draws the contact. Junior Goff called for the foul. Just that slight hesitation before going up.
Yeah, that slight hesitation got the defender to jump on him. I love this for Fort Erie because I think it's easy baskets, and I think they just need to find a way to get some consistency on offense.
And that's the leadership of a guy, like Promise Landu. He knows what it takes to lead a team, obviously leading the provincial team in Quebec at the summer games and, playing for the Canadian National Championships a bunch. He's a guy who knows when things aren't going your way, get to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's the best way you can simplify the game right now if you're Fort Erie. Get to the line, get some easy baskets, try to gain some momentum through there.
More pressure in the backcourt. Nothing's going to be easy for CTA here moving forward. Mugarwa, dead ball. Has to give it to a teammate. And turnover.
And I got to say, JJ, I think this Fort Erie full court press is starting to wear on CTA a little bit.
Can they keep it up for the remainder of this contest? They might just have to. Landu picked up by Tong. Gets past him, and easy lay-in for Promise Landu.
Beautiful finish, taking the game into his own hands here, trying to find something for Fort Erie to get back into this game.
Mugarwa hands it off. Fofana working left. Agamon dips. Fofana tries to shake the primary defender, does a good job of getting Dengor to the air, gets his own rebound. Can he keep it alive? They're going to say it's last touch by Promise Landu, as Kemi Osei shouts at him to grab the ball. Oh, correction. It's actually going to go Fort Erie's way. It's back to an 11-point game. Just over 8 minutes to the half. Promised Landu works top side, calmly into a three. Nothing but net for number one.
And if I'm Fort Erie, I'm going to keep riding the hot hand here. They definitely got to keep Landu with the ball.
Landu has 8 points in the contest. Mugerwa poking and prodding. Fofana again works to the middle. Landu's going for the steal. He's got active hands. Fofana gets to the second level, kicks it out. Mugerwa all the way in. Agumon, offensive rebound, count the basket, and going back to the free throw line, CTA gold.
And a big, strong finish, able to capitalize on the second chance opportunity there. I gotta say though, JJ, FEIA right now leading the rebounding categories with 13 total, only 2 ahead of CTA, but something to definitely keep an eye on.
And a good mix of those coming on the offensive glass. Again, second chance points for Fort Erie need to be of the utmost importance. Dangor thought about going down the right side, but head coach told him to settle it down. The promised Landu jump stop, kicks it out. Gore thought about it, decides to take it. Front iron, offensive rebound. Count the basket and the foul. Pierre Yimga back to the line.
And both teams doing an amazing job finishing in the paint, especially through contact. That's definitely something you want to see from both sides. Try to get those points when you can get them.
That's going to go against Junior Goff, and he is in foul trouble. So Tony Najiofor back into the game. Goff will head out. Correction, actually, they're going to take a Mugerwa, and coaching staff for CTA Gold showing a little bit of confidence in Goff not to take any more fouls. Charles Yimga at the line, his 7th point coming from the free throw line there. TJ St. Louis back into the game for Yimga, who will go to the bench. 7:14 left to go in the second quarter. 31-24, CTA Gold ahead.
And that's another foul now on Jolin, so that's number 3 of the game.
Yimga back to the scores table. Jolin forced to sit on the bench in foul trouble. Goff accepts the inbound pass. Fort Erie back off just a little bit. Adam Elahibakis picks up Goff. Goff between the legs, gets to the rack, off the glass, and boy, oh boy, was that pretty.
What a finish there. I love the athleticism there on the finish. They can't let him keep going to his left side.
St. Louis opens up. Elahibakis drops it in for 2. Goff back over the timeline for CTA Red. Correction, CTA Gold wearing the Reds. He falls. Ben Fofana there to bail him out. Fofana attacks, kicks it to where Charles Tung was and not where he was going. While we've got the time, a quick message from our sponsor, Mooselander. The hunt for quality outdoor apparel ends here. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more second quarter action. You're watching the OSBA's Battle in the Six live on OSBA TV on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. All right, back inside the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium, CTA Gold up 33-26. And it seems as though every time CTA get an extended lead, Fort Erie lean on a guy like Promise Landu to cut that lead down to something manageable. You're looking at halftime as being the measuring stick for where you want it to be, either tied or in the lead. How does Fort Erie get to that spot?
Yeah, I mean, right now, Fort Erie is definitely following the hot hand in Landu. And I think it's just about getting him the ball and allowing him to make the right plays, see where the offense kind of takes him.
Gives it to CJ St. Louis to get it back. St. Louis on the dive. Dangor working on Agumon. Underneath, kicks it back out. Yimga for three. That rattles in and out. Najee Ofor unable to collect the loose ball. He knocks it out of bounds. So Fort Erie ball baseline. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, and right now, I got to say, JJ, Fort Erie right now struggling to shoot the three. Only 1 for 10 from three right now.
A lot of those looks have been pretty clean, too. Here's another one for three, and that falls from the hands of, you guessed it, Promise Landu. All of a sudden, it's a 4-point game. Goff, unable to get by Landu. Najee Ofor squares up, gets the step on St. Louis, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Najee Ofor.
Yeah, and what an amazing way there for
So Najee Ofor's got to go sit on the bench now as then Landu turns on the Jets trying to get back to the rack. Ben Fofana there to block him on the backside and get the ball back into the hands of CTA Gold. What an effort to make up the ground.
Yeah, and a beautiful play there by Fofana, not giving up on the play after being beat on the dribble there.
Goff wants to clear out the side. They're going to send a body. Agumon attacks, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Mikey Agumon, who extended that left arm to create the space.
Yeah, now back-to-back offensive fouls there for CTA. They're also at 14 fouls now for the quarter, something to keep an eye on.
It's funny how the storylines can flip in a game of basketball. First quarter was CTA Gold getting to the line relentlessly, and now with 5:18 left to go in the second, everything moving forward for Fort Erie is going to go to the free throw line in terms of fouls. Landu has 11 points, tied with Junior Goff to lead all scorers in the game. Ponga hands it off. Yimga picks up the dribble. Now it's Dangor working on the left-hand side. Agumon stays with him, altering the shot, then collecting the loose ball. He's going to settle it down with Ben Fofana. Fofana picked up by Dangor. Works to the left, dump off, Agumon off the glass, and another offensive foul for CTA Gold.
Yeah, and that's gonna put him at 5 fouls now in the quarter. That should be putting FEIA into the bonus.
And Promise and Landu recognized the pick and roll, got over outside of the protected area, set his feet, and took it right in the chest. Exactly what you want from your leader. He's scoring. He's been doing it on the offensive glass, and he gets it done on the defensive side too. What else can you say about him? We're going to take a quick break and be back with more second quarter action from the OSBA Battle in the Six. Don't go anywhere.
tonight you guys need to make sure that you keep your eyes on the players on these courts right now, because there's never been a better time for Ontario prep schools to take their own talents and take it to the States for some D1 programs. We know that Eli Jolin is already committed to Santa Clara, and we know that Promise Landu is already committed to George Washington. The opportunity is there. The talent is for sure in Canada right now, and with the right programs and the right coaches, we're going to see more and more players get offers and take their talents to the States.
Well, thank you, Haley. And we've been talking about Tony Naggio for all night long, it seems, and he's fielding some offers as well from West Virginia, Canisius, Seton Hall, High Point University, Western Kentucky, amongst others. And it's obvious why. He's athletic, he can score, he moves downhill, and he plays all levels of the basketball. He can shoot it from distance, get to the second level. Just a great performer. Fort Erie starting to really turn on the Jets here. That ball's knocked out of the hands of Promise Landu by Ben Fofana, but out of bounds. It's going to stay with Fort Erie, 14 on the shot clock. Correction, it'll be 6 on the shot clock.
And very interesting, CTA going with a little bit of a smaller lineup here. It's going to be very important to box out, especially on missed shots.
They're not even going to defend the inbound pass. They get it in quickly to Landu. Ben Fofana just hooks Landu's arm, and you can see it from where we're sitting. Can't get away with something like that. It's just far too obvious.
Yeah, far too obvious, especially when you got officials standing right in front of you. It's a hard one to get away with.
Nima Mohammadi right there staring at the one-on-one matchup between Fofana and Landu. And then Landu knows any foul, he's going to the free throw line. So he gets in real close, pulls it back. The call's made, and now it's 33-30. With plenty of time left to either tie or take the lead before the half.
And Landu doing an amazing job keeping his team into the game right now.
Landu leads all scorers with 13. We go with 2 boards and an assist, along with 2 steals. Here's Ben Fofana. Working left, the lane opens up, he dumps it off. Agumon off glass.
Beautiful pass there in the pocket from Fofana over to Agumon.
I think he was a little surprised that that left lane had parted like the Red Sea. It was just wide open. Quarter 3 off the mark. Dangor above the crowd. That's an over the back foul. Dangor got above the crowd, but had to reach over the back of a CTA player. I believe it was Mikey Agumon.
Yeah, and those two are going to be battling all day today. Definitely not the first time we've seen the two of them clash.
Junior Jean-Marie going to come to the scores table. He'll take out Dangor.
Number 0, Junior Jean-Marie.
Junior Jean-Marie was once wearing a CTA jersey. The Ottawa native, formerly of Canada Topflight Academy. Then Fofana for 3. No. Ponga with the rebound. He gives it up to Jean-Marie. Jean-Marie puts the moves on, get his defender in the air. Blocked by Agumon. Agumon now pushing the pace. He'll slow it down. Goff works to the middle. Fofana, spin move into the lane, elevates. What a pretty finger roll.
What a finish there with the offhand too with his right hand.
Jean-Marie back to Ponga. They'll kick it to Landu. He uses the screen from Bilodeau. Back door, it's there on the money for Anthony Ponga.
And what a beautiful find there from Landu, just keeping them in the game, inching them up, only down by 4 points right now.
Anthony Ponga, another one of those players who's committed to an NCAA program, as Agumon gets off a 3. That hits the back of the iron and just gets the nice, easy roll through the hoop. Lead back up to 7 for Canada Topflight Academy. And Landu, again, gets his defender in the air. They're going to say no foul. Gas. One dribble, no good. Gael Bilodeau with the rebound. Jean-Marie around the screen, into the middle of the court. He gets to the rack and gets it over top of the outstretched arm of Agumon and off glass.
And beautiful separation there driving into the lane. Agamon, a big body, able to keep that separation and get that layup to go.
Spin move by Goff. And that's going to be a foul against Yimga. So no more fouls to give for either side. Junior Goff at the free throw line as we take another look.
Yeah, and just we can see here, beautiful spin move driving into the lane. Obviously a little bit of contact there, like you said earlier, JJ, something you just can't get away with.
Goff adds another one to his total. He's got 12 now to go with 1 assist. Perfect from the charity stripe, 6 of 6. Perfect from the field as well. The former OSBA Trillium Division champion heading to the bench for a breather, giving his team back that 7-point lead, 1:50 to go until half. Promise Landu works to the right. Jean-Marie catch and shoot, rips the cords. Fofana calling out the play. Gets by his primary defender. Nice little Euro step, but leaves it short. Now Fort Erie, stuck 4. Gael Bilodeau will settle it down with Promise Landu. Just enough space to get the shot off. That's back iron into the hands of Yimga. Dead ball. He finds Bilodeau, who throws it down.
Gael Bilodeau.
Under a minute to go until half. 2-point lead. CTA Gold over Fort Erie International. Mugerwa swallowed up on the interior. Gets it back out to Fofana. 8 on the shot clock. Fofana, step back. In and out. Bilodeau. And that foul's going to go against Yimga, putting CTA Gold back on the line.
Yeah, and just as they were inching back, just very close to tying up the game. Not a foul you want, but nonetheless, lots of time left still in this first quarter. Maybe a 2-for-1 opportunity here for Fort Erie.
At the line is Keenan Kanku, formerly of Bull City Prep in Wilmington, North Carolina. So he's got some experience playing down there in the States. He's a class of 2026. Kanku in and out on the second. Will Fort Erie go for the 2-for-1? Jean-Marie has it. Picked up by Mugerwa. Jean-Marie, and that is a hard foul. Anthony Ponga taking out Mugerwa.
Yep, and that's going to be more free throws for CTA there.
Foul on Fort Erie number 14, Anthony Ponga. CTA ball.
They're going to send it to the sideline on the offensive screen foul. Under 25 to go in the opening half. Mugerwa working on Jean-Marie. Picks up the ball, dumps it off. Agamon turns the corner, gets to the rack, count the basket and the foul. The timing of that attack when the backside help was coming to steal the ball. Let's take a look.
Yeah, just a beautiful finish there. Agamon going up strong, but also very fast to turn that corner at the free throw line.
The help defender was coming over for the steal. Got there just as Agamon turned the corner and went downhill. Can he make it a 3-point play? He can. It's a 6-point lead. Timeout on the floor. 14 seconds left in the opening half. It is a 6-point game. We're going to step aside for a quick break, and we'll bring you the final seconds of the first half. You're watching the OSBA Battle in the Six live from the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium on OSBA TV on YouTube. Back inside the historic Maple Leaf Gardens here on Carlton Street in downtown Toronto on a beautiful Saturday evening, November 1st. JJ Evison, Ishan Thandi, and Haley Hopkinson here with you on the call for this OSBA battle in the sixth between two top seeds. Canada Topflight Academy Gold, Fort Erie International Academy, and it is CTA Gold, the team from Ottawa, ahead by 6 with just under 14 seconds left in the opening half. Fort Erie with the inbound on their own baseline. Coming up at the half, we will hear from both head coaches. Haley Hopkinson will have those interviews for us. Get a sense of what they're thinking as we go into the second half. Promise and Landu, meantime, works downhill, dumps it off. Gael Bilodeau fouled hard.
And Landu doing an amazing job again, constructing the offense, getting the ball to an open man, and drawing the foul.
And when that open man is a 6'10 forward who just puts his hands up and you got an easy target, got to be able to finish at the basket. Bilodeau, another one of those guys who's fielding offers. He's got some looks from Boston University and Canisius as well. Misses the first free throw. Make or miss, CTA Gold need to turn this up the court quick. And it is a make. Fofana gets to the timeline, gets to his spot, blocked by Promise Landu, and at the half, it is a 5-point game. Many of times in the first 20 minutes, Ishan, CTA Gold took a double-digit lead, but the resilience of this Fort Erie squad really showing out.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it felt like to me, CTA was in control for majority of the first half, I would say. But one thing I really want to point out is that Fort Erie has not had Eli Jolin playing really at all in the first half. He's basically been a non-factor.
It's unfortunate for Fort Erie that that is the case because he is a must-see TV. And as we said, we told you we got some halftime interviews standing courtside with our Haley Hopkinson, is head coach of CTA Gold from Ottawa, Tony House. Haley.
Tony, in this game, you guys had a great lead at the start, and then we know just as your team can be explosive, so can theirs. So when you had those 3 offensive fouls in there, what's the key to snapping your guys out of that so they don't go on any runs?
Yeah, no, and you hit the nail on the head, but it is a game of runs, and that's what basketball is all about. It's momentum, and then you kind of have to stop the bleeding, so you get called timeouts. But, you know, 2 very good teams just going at it, so at the end of the day, it's just composure. It'll come down to, I think, composure, experience, and just who's got the last run at the end of the game.
You guys got off to a great start. It's been a great first half for you guys, but what do you think are the key adjustments to close out this game?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we got to stay out of foul trouble. Our bigs are you know, getting the offensive fouls and then getting some reaches and over the backs on the other end. So I think if our bigs can just establish the interior both offensively and defensively, and our guards don't turn the ball over, I think we'll be in really good shape.
Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, JJ.
Thank you, Haley. Yes, obviously, the big topic of conversation, we've mentioned it a couple times, is not being able to send your opponent to the free throw line. Head coach Tony House saying there that they've got to shore up that aspect of the game. But both teams executing, you know, well in the second quarter there, Ishan. I think when you look at the overall game plan, get downhill, get to the rack, both teams doing that effectively.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we should take a look at the highlights, kind of give us a better idea of what that game story looked like in the first half. And obviously, Fort Erie off to a very strong start. They played a lot in the paint. I think Promise and Landu did an amazing job. As for CTA did an amazing job getting downhill, drawing contact, capitalizing on their free throw opportunities. The game's been very physical from both sides. Both sides have had big men that have played crucial roles to the game. It's going to be super fascinating to see how they're able to implement themselves into the game in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, like, just the amount of speed. That's the thing that sticks out to me most sitting courtside, is these players can turn on the Jets like that. It's their stutter steps from Promise and Landu, or just a quick spin move to get by the primary defender on a pick and roll. A lot of it is showing up and showing out, and is exactly what we thought this game was going to be like. We look at the halftime stats, 46-41 CTA Gold ahead, and the one that stands out to me, 2-point field goals, 23 field goal attempts for Fort Erie to 14 from CTA Gold. Obviously the other one, the free throw disparity, 21 attempts for the team from Ottawa, only 10 from the team down the QEW in Fort Erie.
Yeah, and I mean, I think those free throw numbers stick out a lot. I think it shows to the kind of game that Fort Erie is playing, but also the way CTA is playing in terms of getting downhill, trying to draw contact. And if you're CTA shooting 21 free throws and a half, you have to be happy with that.
It's time now to turn our attention to some of the hype videos prepared by Baseline Productions, starting with the team from Fort Erie International Academy.
Ago, a vision took shape to build a platform where Canada's best young athletes could rise, compete, and prepare for what's next. That vision became the OSBA.
When I was creating the structure for the OSBA, I knew that it was going to be best to partner with a great operator. So I approached Jason Jansen and the OBA to see if they would be interested in supporting our athletes in this way of a new league. They quickly jumped all over it and thought it was a fantastic idea that they could better support the athletes within our province and their ability to try to play the best players against the best players.
It was a great experience. A lot of high-level guys out there, so just competing every day. Just the pickup runs that we would have always got me better and everyone else better. So just a high-level environment that prepped me for the next level.
Honestly, it was just the compete level and practice every day. And we played great competition in the States and in Canada. Really just prepared me for the next level.
"10 years in, the league's foundation is stronger than ever, fueled by a community that believes in the power of opportunity and the pursuit of excellence." As OSBA celebrates a decade of growth, its story is far from over. The next generation is already writing the next chapter.
Now have 10 years in the OSBA where the elite meet.
This is the OSBA. This is the Battle in the Six.
46-41 the score here after 20 minutes played. CTA Gold ahead of Fort Erie International Academy in this, the 10th year of the Ontario Scholastic Basketball Association. And I think when you look at the growth of basketball here in Ontario, you can see it along with the country. You know, there are definite points along the way. 2019, the Raptors win the championship. But when you look at kind of the state of basketball across this country, it's unbelievable from where it went to where it is now.
Yeah, and I think you talking about where it went versus where it was is super exciting, and I'm so excited to see where it's going to be in 5 more years, especially with the Olympics coming around, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning an NBA MVP. It all just draws attention to the game, and I think it's super exciting to see where we can go as a nation when it comes to basketball.
And you look at some of the big names that are products of the teams here in the OSBA, obviously Lou Dort, part of that championship squad with SGA. He played for the Athlete Institute, currently Orangeville Prep. And then the bigger name, Jamal Murray as well, former NBA champ.
Yep.
And he's got a beautiful showcase tournament that happens here in Toronto at the Toronto Pan Am Center, now the Blue Arrow Classic. So all these great players understand the roots and what they need to do to continue pushing forward the agenda of basketball here in Canada. One who was a professional here in Canada is Kemi Osei, the head coach of Fort Erie International Academy. He is standing side with Haley Hopkinson. Haley.
Thanks, JJ. So we know you guys are a very explosive team, but we know in that first quarter, it was like you guys couldn't settle in fully. What did you think was the issue going into that?
Just foul trouble. We need to guard the ball better. Their guards are getting in the paint easily, too easy to my liking, and that's what's causing the problem for us.
Yeah, and then in the locker room right there, what do you think are the key adjustments? What are you telling to the guys to get those explosive plays we know you guys have capable of? How to get those going in the second?
We're just a little battle tested right now. I like where we're at right now. Just stop fouling, and offensively, I think we'll be fine. We scored 41 points. We're fine. I just think we need to keep moving the ball offensively, and we'll be fine.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, JJ.
Haley, great stuff. We appreciate the work you're putting in down there on the sideline. A lot of the same sentiment coming from Coach Osei as was coming from Coach Tony House. Keep them off the line.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to say, the one thing I love from Coach Osei, he seemed very calm, very relaxed, doesn't seem too concerned, and I think that's important for the temperament of this Fort Erie huddle right now coming into the second half.
Absolutely. Can they continue to lean on Promise Landu to get it done? Will Eli Jolin get off the bench and onto the scoreboard? Will Tony Nagyofor have the response after not having played most of that second quarter? A lot of questions that need answers that will be answered here in the third and fourth quarter. It's been a great contest so far here at the OSBA Battle in the Sixth from the historic Maple Leaf Gardens on what could be a monumental night in Toronto sports. Obviously, Game 7, Toronto Blue Jays, LA Dodgers, coming up in about half an hour. We appreciate you tuning in for this as your appetizer, because that main course is going to be everything we expect it to be and more. Third quarter action about to get underway here. It will be Fort Erie's ball to start. They'll be going the other way. Of course, stuck 5, lots of game left. Both team fouls, reset to 0. And it will be Deng and Gore down low, joined by Junior Jean-Marie. Eli Jolin to inbound. Tutu Akuntak, Promise and Landu getting the start here in the second half for Fort Erie.
Yeah, and I don't think we see any surprises here with the starting groups for either team, JJ.
Jean-Marie hands it off. And Landu on the perimeter. Jolin, top side 3, no, he moves into the paint, looking for a back cut, it's not there. Dengor relocating, gets downhill, finishes with the left.
And a beautiful finish there. Fort Erie getting downhill early in this second half. Definitely a great way to set the tone to start the half.
Mugerwa dancing on the perimeter. Give and go with Agamon. Mugerwa shoots it to an open spot in the corner. No one was there. Ben Fafana, the closest player, and he was about 6 feet away.
Yeah, not a good turnover if you're going to start the half for CTA. Let's see if they can get a defensive stop here and make up for it.
Landu works to the right. Akuntak sets the screen. And another foul on Tutu Akuntak out on the perimeter, setting that screen for the guard. So Mikey Agamon gives it in. Junior Goff. Picked up by Jolin. Agamon comes to set the screen. Goff goes the other way, gets to the rack. Oh,
what
buddy.
a finish there, JJ.
It's so tough to work to the right and then finish with your left on the right side of the basket. You have marginal space to work with. Dangor, deep 3, bottom.
And that's something to keep an eye on there, JJ, is a 3-ball for Fort Erie, right? Unable to knock the ball down from 3 in the first half. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do here.
Goff works to the middle. Pick and roll, Agamon. Over 2, not there. Going to be a loose ball foul. It's going to stay there. Fort Erie picking up the foul. That's against Promise Landu.
Personal foul on
So Promise Landu picks up his first. The team has 18 total fouls to CTA Gold's 10. Mugerwa works with Agamon on the right. Now back to the middle. Lane opens up, kicks it to the corner. Goff. Back iron. Jolin snatches the board, pushes the pace. Dangor behind the back, over the timeline. Picked up by Mugerwa. Pulls it back, feet set. That misses everything. Najiofor taps it to Fofana. Fofana tries to turn the corner on Jolin. Count the basket and the foul, and a little bit of a breakdance move by Ben Fofana to celebrate.
And JJ, I think that's number 4 on Jolin, and I think that he might be on the bench again for this third quarter. Just reached a little too heavy. Beautiful finish there, though, by Fofana.
You got to give the shooter space to land. Tutu Akuntak and Eli Jolin come together, going for the block, but end up giving an extra look at the free throw line. As we get the court cleaned, Fofana for the line for 1. Gore swallows up the rebound on the miss, finds Landu. 3 team fouls for Fort Erie. Just over 2 minutes played in the third quarter. Hands on the body for Tony Najiofor as Dangor goes up a couple feet away from throwing it down ferociously, gets the bucket, and he's going to the free throw line.
What a finish there by Gore, but also what a pass there by the big man to set it all up. Let's see if Fort Erie here can capitalize at the line.
Love a good big-to-big pass. Tutu Akuntak sees Gore leaking out the back and just finds him as Anthony Ponga checks in. Tutu Akuntak will go to the bench as Junior Jean-Marie has a quick word with head coach Kemi Osei. Dangor misses the free throw. Mikey Agamon with the rebound, and he'll settle it down with Jeremy Mugerwa. Shifty guard gets the switch. Attacking baseline. Fofana had relocated, picked up by Landu. Gets around the primary defender. They're going to call the foul on the shot attempt, so Ben Fofana will go to the free throw line, and that's 4 team fouls against Fort Erie International, who just aren't playing disciplined enough.
No, lots of reaching, lots of kind of over committing to stuff, and I think if you're CTA, this is exactly how you wanted the half to go.
At the line for CTA, number 1, Ben Fofana, shooting 2.
Fofana makes good on them both, 2 for 3 now in the contest. Fofana's got 8 points to go with 2 boards and an assist. Jean-Marie quickly to Dangor. Picked up by Agamon. Gore puts the rock to the deck, nothing there, hands it off. Landu turns the corner, gets inside, body contact. And that foul's gonna go on Fofana in the act of shooting.
Yeah, and Fort Erie now getting to the stripe, trying to get some easy buckets of their own. Down 4 right now. Let's see if they're able to go on a run of their own.
Again, it's Promise and Landu being the leader, both by the physicality of the play, getting to the line, leading by example. Landu's up to 14 points now. Has a chance to tie Junior Goff for the lead in the game. And he rattles it through. 15 points for Goff, 15 points for Landu. It is a 3-point game. CTA Gold ahead. Goff working on Ponga. Gets the step, but falls. Gives it up to Junior Goff. He's got Gore ahead. Gore, one dribble, goes up strong, misses. Good defense there by Agamon. Just put his body in the way.
Yeah, an unfortunate finish there from Gore, but if you're Fort Erie, this is exactly what you want. You want to play high-paced basketball and on the break.
The pass ahead for Promise Landu, tracked down in the corner. He'll dial it from deep and rip the cords.
And he's now got a game-high 18 points. I don't know what Fort Erie would do if they didn't have him.
Here's Junior Goff working on Yimga. Fofana, topside three, off the iron. Jean-Marie will settle it down. He sets up Gore behind the back, in the lane, up strong, foul called. Dang Gore, good things happen when you attack the rim.
Yeah, and JJ, one thing I'm noticing right now is Fort Erie picking up the pace of the game a little bit, trying to play a little bit more in transition to use their size and athleticism.
Fort Erie ahead now by 1 for the first time in the game. Nearly 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Dangor misses the first as he lets out a scream of frustration. Gael Bilodeau at the scorer's table ready to check in. Gore makes the second, extending Fort Erie's lead to 2. He'll go grab a breather as Bilodeau checks in.
And I love the way Gore started out that's the second half. Very aggressive, trying to get to the paint, trying to get the looks that he wants.
Does CTA Gold have a response? Mikey Agamon accepts the pass, tries to turn the corner on Bilodeau, gets into the lane. Foul's called on Promise Landu. He picks up his second in the matter of seconds.
And now up to 5 fouls in this third quarter for Fort Erie, getting close to that penalty mark again.
So 3 fouls for Promise Landu, Eli Jolin, Yimga, Gore, and Ponga. Mikey Agamon makes good on the first with a chance to tie it here on the second. Agamon ties it back up at 54 on a perfect trip to the charity stripe. And now no Promise in Landu on the court for Fort Erie. Junior Jean-Marie finds Ponga, gets it back, calmly into a 3. That misses. Rebound corralled by Mugerwa.
And JJ, it's going to be interesting now with Jolin and Landu both on the bench. Who's going to take control for Fort Erie?
Well, we know who's taking control for CTA Gold. It's Mikey Agamon.
And Agamon now with a double-double on today's game. Looking absolutely stunning. Look at that strong take to the basket. Absolutely no chance for the defenders. He just attacks the paint with so much tenacity and so much strength. So hard to stop him when he gets downhill.
These free throws brought to you by Hemlock Printers. Hemlock Printers, integrity, innovation, in print. Visit hemlock.com and take your print project to the next level. 5:30 to go in the third quarter. Jean-Marie works to the right. Gets to the rack, blocked on the backside by Agamon. CTA Gold out on the run. End to end for Ben Fofana.
And Agamon really making his presence felt early in this third quarter.
Davin Larosilier forced to the sideline. Anthony Ponga finds Gael Bilodeau from the elbow. No. Loose ball. Fofana has it. We're going to call kick ball. It's going to stay with Fort Erie. Dangor back into the game. Gael Bilodeau going to substitute after the media timeout. 59-54, CTA Gold back in front. We'll be right back with more third quarter action. You're watching the OSBA Battle in the Six live on OSBA TV on YouTube. Well, there's not many places, Ishan, I'd rather be on a Saturday night than in the gym, especially when you got two powerhouses going at it the way these two are tonight.
Yeah, both teams absolutely battling. We've had a really good one right from the start. Both teams competing in a very close one.
We're going to check in with our sideline reporter, Haley Hopkinson. Haley, what do you got for us?
Well, we are so excited to have not only both teams here today, but CTA in their 10th anniversary and their first season a part of OSBA. It was founded by head coach Tony House in 2016. They partnered with Notre Dame in Ottawa, and Tony House was even inducted into the Nepean Wall of Fame for everything he's done for this program, building it from the ground up.
Thanks, Haley. 10 years for CTA, 10 years for the OSBA. What a great milestone for both the club and the league.
Yeah, and I mean, just to say that you've made 10 years of impact in basketball in Canada, I think is second to none. Like I said earlier during halftime, it's going to be so excited to see what the next 10 look like.
Fort Erie to inbound the ball. It'll be Yimga to trigger. Looks like La Rosillier is set to receive it. And La Rosillier will work to the left. Hand off, Jean-Marie. Gets to the second level, kicks back out. Dangor, catch and shoot. Back of the iron and through the hoop.
And JJ, we knew he wasn't going to have much of a break when he got subbed out earlier in the third.
Dangor, 16 points and counting. Agamon to the rack. That's going to be an offensive foul. Dangor doing a great job of getting to the spot and taking it in the numbers. Leo Routen's here in attendance, a hooper, TSN Raptors analyst, and he's a gym rat as well. He'll be in whatever gym there's basketball going on in his neck of the woods any given night.
And you gotta love the support, right? Coming to watch some high school basketball players play. I'm sure these players look in the stands and see Leo and think, oh my goodness.
I'd like to think they're all locked into the game, but you're probably right. A little bit of stardom. Jean-Marie. Back to La Rosillier, dumps it off. Dangor taps his toe, brings his foot past the three-point line, but that doesn't fall. Defensive rebound, Charles Tung. He gets it to Junior Goff, who gets it calmly over the timeline. Mugerwa with 10 on the shot clock. Dances, gets to the free throw line, elevates, back iron, rebound, falls to Junior Jean-Marie. Here's La Rosillier attacking. He gets to the rack and is fouled, so 2 free throws upcoming for Davin La Rosillier. Another native of Quebec who had run at the 2025 Canada Summer Games out there in Newfoundland and Labrador this past summer. 6 games played. La Rosillier averaged 14.5 points, a shade under 4 rebounds, and a shade over 3 assists to go with nearly 2 steals across those 6 games. Alberta winning the gold this year. Ontario coming away with the silver. La Rosillier collects it off the miss. They're going to put 10 on the shot clock, and they'll take the ball to the sideline for Fort Erie. In the meantime, Sonny Joseph, who was elevated from the CTA Red squad, will get for his first minutes here.
Yeah, and it's great to see him get into the game. I talked to CTA's coach this morning, and they said that they had brought him up because they just needed a little bit more size and length and a little bit more depth in their front court.
Gore to Ponga. Works to the left, back to Gore. Shuffling those feet again. He couldn't make his mind up. We welcome you back inside the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium. Following with technical difficulty. We appreciate your patience as we deal with that technical difficulty. We'll let you know that you missed a travel on Dangor. It's a 1-point game, CTA gold ahead of Fort Erie, and we get our first look at Sonny Joseph, number 14 in red, standing in the corner, moving his way into the lane now. He was elevated from the CTA Red squad for the remainder of the season for this gold squad from Ottawa. That shot from the corner hits the top of the backboard. It's considered out of bounds. Fort Erie ball on the baseline.
Fort Erie ball.
And I gotta say, JJ, I'm super, super excited to see how Sonny Joseph is able to get himself involved in this game.
Well, he's got the tough task of guarding Dangangor here on the defensive side. Ponga picked up by Jean-Marie, keeps it, gets double teamed, kicks it back out. Yimga's three, off the mark. Goff ahead, Gas turns back, and they'll calm things down. Nothing was there, smart decision. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Here's Goff, loses it. Good effort to keep the ball alive from Dangor. He finds La Rosilier, who sees it through for two.
And this is exactly if you want if you're Fort Erie, right? Get that rebound, get downhill, try to make CTA kind of play from behind a little bit.
Here's Gas, working on Ponga. That's just stolen by Ngor, who spins at the timeline, loses the handle. La Rosilier, Junior Jean-Marie, bottom. 4-point lead, Fort Erie ahead. Dangor doing a great job on the last two possessions of keeping the ball live and getting his teammates that were out in transition. Tung working on Gore, resets it. Mugerwa into the lane, kicks it out. Gas for three, back iron and through.
And a big three there for CTA to keep them within one. Timeout, obviously, for Fort Erie. That was a big play there for CTA.
Kemi Osei wants to talk it over with the team in white. We'll be back with the final minute and 50 of the third quarter. You're watching the OSBA Battle in the Sixth on OSBA TV on YouTube. So Ishan, CTA now back, stuck one. It's been pretty much a back and forth game ever since midway through that second quarter when CTA Gold came out early, demanding the lead and getting to the free throw line. Some changes you've seen here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, to me, the energy in the building feels like Fort Erie's about to go on a run almost. They've kind of been inching, obviously took a little bit of a lead there in this third quarter, but I'm feeling the energy build up. I'm feeling a Fort Erie run, and it's going to be interesting to see how CTA is able to hold that.
Well, Fort Erie riding 18 points from Promise and Landu, 16 from Dangor. Junior Jean-Marie chipping in 8. Pierre Charles Yimga with 7. Meanwhile, 3 players for CTA in double-digit scoring. That's Ben Fofana with 10, Junior Goff with 15, and Mikey Agamon 16. Tony Nagiofor, handcuffed by foul trouble, only has 7 points. Promise and Landu back on the court for the remaining minute 40 of the third quarter. Getting to the middle of the key was Ponga, who just tossed it up and sees it rim through. Goff going one-on-one with Landu, kicks it out. Tung, 3 on the shot clock. Gas has to get it off, and they're gonna call an over and back about a second before the 24-second violation.
And very tenacious defense there from Fort Erie. Kind of what they've been doing the whole game with that on-ball pressure. It's gonna be crucial, especially heading into this fourth quarter.
And if they can keep their hands off of CTA Reds players, CTA Gold's players, I should say. Being a little bit more disciplined, that'll help them down the stretch. They're up 3, 1:11 to go in the third. Ponga to trigger. Jean-Marie accepts the inbound pass. Looks to the left, Ponga comes, sets the screen. Jean-Marie into the middle, dumps it off. Yimga off glass.
And a beautiful cut there, and a beautiful backdoor cut, and a beautiful pass there into the middle of the paint.
Junior Goff hands it off to Fofana. Fofana, another backdoor cut, two-handed jam. It's Sonny Joseph throwing it down. La Rosilier sends Jean-Marie through. He wants the screen from Ponga, works to the left. gets to the elbow, keeps the dribble alive, spins. Rebound, Goff. CTA have numbers. Fofana for three, no good. Soaring in from the free throw line was Yimga to collect the board. Shot clock is off. Ponga slowing it down. Fort Erie up 3. 7 seconds left in the third quarter. Jean-Marie kicks it to the corner. Elahibakis. That's off the mark. 30 minutes gone. 3-point lead. Fort Erie ahead of CTA Gold. It's the back and forth contest we were craving, Ishan. Everything that's been on the court there in that third quarter, both teams can build off of what they gave us to try and get that lead back and get a victory here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And I got to say, Fort Erie's ball pressure right now is second to none. Absolutely putting the CTA guards in very uncomfortable situations and positions, bringing the ball up. And it's noticeable, too, with the turnovers.
Let's take a look at the third quarter highlights to get a better picture of what we just witnessed and what these teams can build off of. Getting to the rack, plenty.
Yeah,
for Dangor.
Dangor was a huge piece for Fort Erie in this third quarter, scoring at will. CTA doing a good job staying involved. Not as many fouls we saw this quarter, JJ. Both teams cleaning it up a lot more. It's going to be very interesting to see which player and which team is able to take control of this game going into the fourth.
Mikey Agamon had his name all over the score sheet there in that third quarter, getting to the rack multiple times. Dangor obviously doing it from all parts of the floor, from distance, at the rack. Agamon just moving downhill. And that's Dangor taking the charge on that last play. And here he is, getting the ball to La Rosilier again in transition. Ponga with plenty of space. Closeouts need to be better as we take a look at the stats at the end of three quarters. 67-64, Fort Erie ahead. The discrepancy in the free throws still there, plus 10 for CTA Gold. The three-point numbers just not where they need to be for either side.
Yeah, either side. Both teams not really shooting the ball well. The other thing I noticed on that graphic there is CTA has 6 more turnovers than Fort Erie, and I think that has something to do with that full court press.
Well, we'll see a fresh 5 on the court for both sides. We see Tony Nagyofor ready to get his game going again. Will we see Eli Jolin? He's the first one at the edge of the bench, and he's itching to get back onto the court. And if both of those players can impact his game here in the fourth quarter, could be a coin toss coming down to the final few seconds.
Yeah, and I'm sure both of these players definitely want to have an imprint on today's game and definitely have an impact on the end outcome.
CTA Gold to start the fourth quarter with possession. Agamon into Goff. Fofana on the far side. A flurry of moves, gets the ball to Nagyofor. He's going to back down TJ St. Louis. In there to help. Dangor, loose ball, possession. That's going to favor Fort Erie.
And beautiful off-ball help there by Dangor.
Jump ball, Fort Erie ball.
Again, we want to say thank you for tuning into this broadcast, this unbelievable event, OSBA Battle in the Six, put on by Baseline Productions. Here's Promise Landu. Loses the handle, very uncharacteristic of him. Mugerwa gonna call jump ball as it was tied up with him and TJ St. Louis, so possession going the other way. And while we have a quick second, a message from Mooselander. The hunt for quality outdoor apparel ends here. Mooselander. Jeremy Mugerwa, 5'10" guard out of Gatineau, Quebec, dumps it off to Tony Nagyofor. Picked up by TJ St. Louis. Nagyofor from distance, that's back iron and into the hands of Nlandu. Quickly ahead to Dangor. He'll give it right back to Nlandu. Working from the left side now, TJ St. Louis back to the basket. Nagyofor staying with him step for step. Mugerwa with the defensive rebound, pushing the pace. He kicked it right into the body of Yimga. Officials are going to say that it's Fort Erie ball. Dangor on the floor. getting stretched out by Mikey Agamon. Love to see that type of sportsmanship.
Gotta love the sportsmanship. Looks like we got a little bit of a cramp here.
So Fort Erie doing a good job of coming from behind, staying involved in the game, leaning on, multiple players, obviously the charge led by Promise and Landu. But their bigs have been doing a great job of getting physical, getting into the paint, absorbing contact, and playing through it.
Yeah, especially when we look at Anthony Nijafor being out for most of the game, right? Obviously with foul trouble, them getting into the paint has been crucial, and their bigs have done an amazing job asserting themselves into this game.
Dengangor is stretched out. Eli Jolin will, in fact, take the court, giving Dengangor some time to rehydrate, maybe get some electrolytes in.
And JJ, right now is a perfect time for Eli Jolin to have his imprint on this game.
Just over a minute gone in the fourth quarter. 3-point game. Promise Landu dances with it at the top. Uses the screen from Yimga. The double comes. He sends it over. Shuffling of the feet. Another turnover for Fort Erie.
Yeah, and definitely an untimely turnover there for Fort Erie. Let's see if CTA can capitalize here and maybe tie this game up.
The ball once again in the hands of Mugerwa. He's going to dump it off to Najee Ofor. He's going to get the step on St. Louis, high off the glass and through.
What a strong finish there, JJ. Najee Ofor knowing what he wanted there on that play and able to get it.
Should be Mugerwa's 5th assist of the night. TJ St. Louis traveling again. That pivot foot needs to remain in contact with the floor. It cannot be shuffled. It cannot be moved. And the Fort Erie players just not getting away with any of those little movements here tonight. Mugerwa to Fofana. Wide open on the far side. Goff. Agamon pulls it off the front of the iron. Yimga with the rebound. In the corner, La Rosillier dials it up. That's no good. Najee Ofor with the defensive board. Back and forth we go. Goff wants the side cleared out. Agamon has it on the block against Yimga. Stolen by La Rosillier. Promise Landu. Fouled on the 3-point shot attempt by Ben Fofana. Anytime you need a bucket or you need the game to slow down, Promise Landu seems to be the guy with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and just seems to play with a very calm demeanor when he's on the court. It seems like almost as if everyone on the team, especially Fort Erie, can look on the court, and that's almost like their emotional leader.
Again, like Haley said, headed to George Washington University next year to play in the NCAA. And he's already got that leadership mentality. So it will be 3 shots for Nlandu. This will be the 9th free throw attempt by the guard from Quebec, and he is 8 of 9 in the contest.
21 points on the game today.
7.5 to go. Could be, if he continues to do what he's doing, he could be up there in the 30s, maybe mid-30s to 40s. Unless some of his other teammates get hot, and you got to feed the hot hand. Here's Goff poking and prodding, trying to shake the big man. Mugerwa with 4 on the shot clock. The runner through the lane is good. Junior Jean-Marie picked up by Mugerwa. Jean-Marie back to the middle of the floor. Gets the switch, kicks to the corner. They'll reset at the top. 5 on the shot clock for Nlandu. He gets space. Back iron, TJ St. Louis. Offensive rebound. Jean-Marie from 3, no good. And Goff will let that one trickle out of bounds.
CTA ball.
And two very good looks there for Fort Erie. Unfortunately, not able to knock it down. Let's see if CTA can come back down the court and maybe tie this ball game up.
Ibrahim Gass back into the game. Again, he's a class of 2027. Was invited to the U18 national team training camp on October 10th that weekend. A couple of players on this court wore the red and white for Canada. Both teams wearing red and white tonight. Thankfully, not both teams wearing red. Thought that might be the case when I saw them warming up. Shot from the corner from Gass is too long. St. Louis with the rebound, or loose ball collected, rather. Jean-Marie uses the screen from Jolin, gets to the rack over the outstretched arm of Naji Ofor. St. Louis, second chance, no good. Jean-Marie fouled that time by Naji Ofor, or maybe Agamon, they're gonna say. Both players right there.
And a great job there by St. Louis, keeping the play alive, fighting for the offensive glass.
So that's gonna go against Mikey Agamon.
Substitution for CTA, number 3, Charles Tung.
His 5th personal foul. Naji Ofor playing with 4. Junior Jean-Marie at the line, shooting 2. With Fort Erie ahead by 2. As a team, just 15 of 22 from the line is Fort Erie. 7 points left there. Could be a completely different game if they made a few more. Jean-Marie looking to make it a 3-point game, and does. As Dengen Gore is back on the hardwood. Eli Jolin gonna check out for Kemi Osei's squad. Fofana picked up by Yimga. Dances, dials it. Wide of everything. CTA coaching staff asking, what are we doing? And Fofana will get checked out after that offensive possession.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was the look that CTA wanted there. I think they definitely wanted to get the ball in the paint there.
Promise Landu uses the screen from Jean-Marie, gets to his left, off the glass. I don't know if there's much prettier than Promise and Landu going left.
No, playing just such a smooth game, so calm and controlled under pressure too.
Mugerwa works to his left, puts on the brakes. Loose ball, top side, Gass gets his defender in the air and finishes off glass.
And beautiful finish there for the sharpshooter on CTA. Hopefully that's able to help him get in a little bit of a rhythm, seeing the ball go through the hoop.
Gass up to 6 points now on 2 of 7 shooting from 3, 1 of 1 from, that's his first field goal attempt from the 2-point area. Landu to the second level, spin move in the lane, again with the left, that's too strong. Naji Ofor with the rebound, 4-on-2, quickly ahead. Nothing there, so they'll settle it down with Goff at the top side, into the lane, dumping it off. Naji Ofor can't squeeze it. Under 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Fort Erie still ahead by 3. So with under 5 to go, there will be a mandatory timeout here from the Mattamy Athletic Centre. The battle in the 6 is proving to be quite the battle, Ishan.
Yeah, this game has lived up to all of the hype. Both sides battling, playing super hard, and just like I said at the start of the game, we can really see why one side's the beast of the East and why the other side's the best of the West.
Call a friend, text your mom, tell them to tune in on OSBA TV. We've got ourselves a game. We'll be right back with more 4th quarter action.
We've got a very close and exciting game here tonight, and it seems like it's going to come down to which team's going to be able to take care of the ball better down the stretch and pull away with this lead. We know Fort Erie definitely is gunning for this win hard, as CTA is, but Fort Erie's women's team is in the gym right now to support the men's team after getting a win themselves today.
Thank you so much, Haley. Well, if the Fort Erie men can make it 2 wins for Fort Erie today, I'm sure the Academy would be very happy about that. Great basketball program out there just across from the U.S. border in Buffalo, New York. Fort Erie, a powerhouse in Ontario basketball. TJ St. Louis up and under off glass and 1.
And a big finish there for St. Louis. Hitting the deck there, obviously. Big man gets up very quick. Let's see if he can convert one here at the line.
So Najee Ofor picks up his 5th personal. Sonny Joseph getting that extended run.
And what great experience here for Joseph in his first game with the club, being able to get a lot of minutes against a very good Fort Erie team.
St. Louis looking to extend it to a 6-point lead, and does. Eli Jolin back in for the big number 20. Junior Goff over the timeline working on Yimga. Gets switched on to by Dangor. Hands it off. Mugerwa. 10 on the shot clock. Works to the left into the corner. Goff attacking. Mid-range pull-up. That doesn't go. Loose ball's knocked up. Falls into the hands of Nlandu. He's got Dangor to his left. He keeps. Gets to the rack. Lays it in. And another basket off glass for Promise Landu. Mugerwa to the left, back to the right, and he says, I can see what you're doing, and I can do it too. 6-point game, under 4 to go. Junior Jean-Marie uses the screen, gets sent to his backcourt. Jolin down the lane, up top, miscommunication. Mugerwa, bounce pass right into the lane. What a finger roll from Charles Tong. And he's going to the line with a chance to add 1.
And a beautiful finish there by Tong. You can just see the athleticism there, going up with the right and finishing on the inside. That's a beautiful finish right there, JJ.
Just the ability to stay with it, roll it off the fingertips. It gets nothing but net. And he makes the old-fashioned 3-point play. It is a 1-possession game under 3.5 to go. Promise Landu attacking, goes up strong into the body of Sonny Joseph. Back to the line for Promise and Landu.
And Landu here now with 25 points in the game, looking to get his 10th and 11th attempts from the free throw line.
4 boards, 5 assists, a pair of steals, and a block as well from the guard from Quebec, who's been doing a lot of heavy lifting for Kemi Osei's side. Do they have an answer? Can they slow him down? That's the question.
And I think that's going to come down to what team wants it more. Who's willing to dive for loose balls? Who's willing to be aggressive in the paint? Who's not going to foul? I think there's a lot of things that this is going to come down to, and I think there's still a lot of time and a lot of game left.
We'll get you back to the action after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Well, there they are, the CTA Gold Squad looking to overcome this 3-point deficit. And head coach Tony House was given the accolades of being on the Wall of Fame, the class of 2025 at the Nepean Sportsplex. And that took place late October. And what an accomplishment. I mean, what a great leader of basketball in the Ottawa area. Somebody whose name is synonymous with excellence.
Yeah, and the Ottawa basketball community, very tight-knit, very close. Anyone you ask would have to say amazing things about Tony House.
So Promise and Landu at the line.
At the line for Fort Erie, number 1, Promise Landu, shooting 2.
Looking to add to his 25 points. 4 of 10 from the 2-point area. As he sees the first through, 3 of 8 from deep. And now 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Make that 10 of 11.
An amazing composure there from the lineup for Landu.
5 points, the difference between Fort Erie and CTA Gold here late in the fourth quarter of this battle in the 6. Mugerwa attacks baseline, has to kick it back out. Great defense here by Fort Erie, 7 on the shot clock. Tung keeps, steps back, leaves it short. Shot clock violation. So when you need it most on the defensive end, all 5 players on a string, forcing CTA back towards the timeline.
Yeah, I also think the interesting thing right now, JJ, is Fort Erie going with a little bit of a smaller lineup. Obviously, we've got Dang on the court. He's actually the big for Fort Erie right now, so something to keep an eye on, and I think it's kind of showing in the way they're playing right now.
He's matched up with Sonny Joseph. Will they exploit that matchup? They get the ball to him at the elbow, and Gore spins into the lane, gets Joseph up, and finishes at the rack.
And a beautiful finish there with the left hand. Gore showing a little bit of emotion after that bucket.
Goff catches to Fofana, the catch and shoot off the iron, and away, offensive glass, Jeremy Mugerwa, there when you need him. Jean-Marie picked up by Mugerwa. Gore trying to get free, does the steal, Joseph. A little too much of the body of Dang Gore. And that is the 5th team foul.
Yeah, and we can see here just overcommit to the reach there. Arm pulls kind of Gore down a little bit. Obviously, that's not going to fly.
Just over 2 minutes to go in regulation. 5-point game. Dang Gore at the line to make it a 3-possession game. If you can sink them both, back iron. Broadcaster's curse. I don't know if you ever heard of that, Ishan, but yeah, I don't really believe in it, but every time I talk about it, it seems to happen.
Seems like it might be a real thing then, JJ.
I know, and I'm trying to prove it wrong. I got to stop. Gore, good on the second. 6-point game. Still very much in it is CTA Gold. Junior Goff to Ben Fofana. Working back to the middle. Mugerwa uses the screen from Joseph. Knocked out of bounds on the pass attempt to the corner. And another great defensive possession here from Fort Erie International. 6 on the shot clock. Sonny Joseph through contact. He'll go to the line, the 6'6" guard. Recently elevated from the CTA Red Squad.
I gotta say, he's doing an amazing job making the most of his opportunity here today, joining the CTA Gold team.
Joseph rattles in the first. The second's off the mark. Dang Gore swallows up the rebound. He finds Promise and Landu, who's happy to just take his time. Baseline cut, Yimga blocked by the rim. Second chance opportunity, leaves it short. Loose ball, swallowed up on the perimeter by Junior Jean-Marie. He gets it to Promise Landu. Long strides, count the basket, and one. How many times have we said that tonight?
And what a finish there for Landu, going up strong, finishing up against Tung. Beautiful finish. You can see there, goes up strong, able to convert the basket. Let's see if he can get one extra at the stripe.
7-point game, 1:25 to go in regulation. Promise and Landu, 29 points.
Number 1, Promise Landu, shooting 1.
Back iron, offensive rebound. Anthony Ponga, Junior Jean-Marie. We've got a clock malfunction. They're gonna reset it. They're gonna bring the shot clock to 8 as Eli Jolin gets ready to check in. Davin Larosilier to the bench for Fort Erie. Fort Erie ball on the sideline. Jolin to trigger. Jolin just gives it up. And all the way to the rack, Jeremy Mugerwa threw some very physical contact. No call. 5-point game. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and a beautiful finish there from the left hand, using the right hand to keep the defender off of him. Amazing body control and an amazing finish.
So Mugerwa, now the 4th player for CTA Gold in double-digit points. He's got 10 points to go with 4 boards and 4 assists. Full court press here now from CTA.
First time we're seeing this today.
There's no one you'd rather have the ball in the hands of than Promise Landu, and he gets called for the offensive foul. Jeremy Mugerwa there with him step for step, and Landu just drops the shoulder, whether there was the contact or not. Mugerwa sold it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and Mugerwa did an amazing job moving his feet, keeping himself in front of the ball handler.
5-point game, 1:06 left in regulation. This is what you want on a Saturday night OSBA game. Battle in the 6th, neutral ground, Mattamy Athletic Centre. A great appetizer for the Blue Jays game that all eyes will be on after this. And if you're tuning in right now on OSBA TV on YouTube, we appreciate it. JJ Evison, Ishan Vandy, and Haley Hopkinson here with you on a Saturday night. Now Fort Erie out of fouls to give. Baseline inbound to be triggered by Junior Goff. 17 on the shot clock. Promise Landu with 5 fouls is out of the game. Davin Larosilier will play the remaining 58.7 you'd expect in place of Promise Landu.
And that's going to be very crucial going down the stretch here in this last minute for Fort Erie.
Sonny Joseph, long strides. Tough time getting the ball in there for CTA. They'll have a chance to do it again. This time from the other side. .8 on the clock. CTA to inbound. Ben Fofana accepts it on the perimeter. Working on Larosilier, who strips him. Anthony Ponga has one to beat. Mugerwa gets to the summit. Ponga gets the better of him, high off the glass.
And what amazing body control there up in the air, using the left side of his body to protect the ball and get that finish.
Goff going from one end to the other. And that's last touch by Junior Jean-Marie. And it looked like a little bit of miscommunication with the shooter in the corner diving to the rack, but the pass was intended for the corner, and just the CTA players not really all on the same page late in this game.
And just not what you need, especially with less than a minute left to go in this game with a 7-point game.
Fofana to the rack, lays it in with the right, 5-point game. Jean-Marie in the backcourt, gets the double team, finds Ponga. Here's Larosilier. Gonna try and take time off the clock, intentionally fouled by Junior Goff.
Personal foul on CTA number 10, Junior Goff.
So Davin Larosilier at the line. Fort Erie ahead 5, 22.8 left in the regulation time. Larosilier gets the friendly bounce, still a 2-possession game. La Rosilier makes good on them both. 3-possession game. CTA need to get a quick shot up. It is a need 3 situation. Goff hounded as he attacks the paint. So free throws upcoming with the clock stopped for Junior Goff.
And I love the aggression going into the paint, drawing in all the defenders. You could tell he was trying to get a little kick out. Unfortunately, wasn't able to, but was able to draw some contact.
'89-'83, Goff makes the first. The second as well, full court press. Dengor leaking out the backside. Pressure on the inbound, Jean-Marie gets fouled immediately.
And a very quick foul there by CTA, trying to keep as much time as they can on the clock.
So Junior Jean-Marie steps up. Feels like these are some revenge free throws here for Jean-Marie, formerly of CTA. Wants to put it completely out of reach for his new squad, Fort Erie. The mesh almost didn't even move on that.
No, that was literally perfect, right through the mesh. Barely didn't even hit it.
Dengor makes an unfathomable decision to go over the back there. So no time off the clock on the missed free throw. And now CTA get 2 free throws.
Yeah, and just not what you want if you're Gore. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Really urgent to get the offensive rebound when I feel like the focus should be get back on transition defense.
So they're going to shave off a second because the ball went live. So we'll have 14.9 on the game clock. Tong makes the first of 2. The second falls through as well. 4-point game. CTA need a steal or a turnover here. Ball gets into Gore, but tapped back out of bounds by Sonny Joseph, who's getting leaned on here late in a close game from head coach Tony House.
Yeah, and a very strong full court press there from CTA. Don't want to let Fort Erie get the ball in, playing very aggressive right now.
Really good handoffs on the defensive assignment there. CTA drawing up what's going to need to be a greatly executed defensive inbound play. We'll send it to a quick break, and we'll be back with the final seconds of this battle in the 6 on OSBA TV on YouTube. Stay with us. Welcome back inside the Toronto Metropolitan University Gymnasium here at the Mattamy Athletic Centre. The final few seconds of the battle in the 6 is brought to you by Hemlock Printers. Hemlock Printers, integrity, innovation in print. Visit hemlock.com and take your print project to the next level. CTA Gold have held the lead for the majority of this contest. The third quarter belonged to Fort Erie and Dengor. With 13.4 left and stuck 4, does CTA have what it takes to create a turnover and get a run out and make it something that could swing to a win for the guys from Ottawa? Junior Jean-Marie to inbound. Line formation by the rest of the players from Fort Erie. Elahibakis fouled. 12.1 left.
And great ball security there by Fort Erie, making sure the ball got in cleanly, get the ball into a free throw shooter's hands. Let's see if he can convert two now.
At the line for Fort Erie, number 4, Adam Elahibakis, shooting 2.
Back iron and through. Back up to a 5-point game. Tony House checking with the scores table of how many timeouts remaining for his squad. Elahibakis perfect. CTA take their final timeout. 12.1 remaining in regulation. 6-point game. 6-point game at this point of the game. Seems out of reach, but crazier things have happened. They get the chance to advance the ball past half court, 14 on the shot clock. Feels like a catch and shoot from 3 is what needs to be drawn up here, Ishan.
Yeah, to me it seems like CTA's got to get something quick. They got to take whatever they can get, whether it's 2 or 3. They just got to get on the board, get a quick foul, manage the game from there.
On the opposite side of the coin, if you're Fort Erie, there is always the strategy of the intentional foul. Don't let them get the chance to get the 3. Is that something you see in the wheelhouse of Fort Erie?
I don't see Fort Erie doing that. I see Fort Erie just playing defense. I mean, they're up right now by more than 1 possession, so I think it gives them a little bit of comfortability, and I see them just trying to strap it on defense, see if they can force CTA to take a bad shot or even maybe a turnover.
You got to think in that huddle right there for Fort Erie, Kemi Osei is saying, stay disciplined. We saw what happened when Dangor went over the back on the missed free throw on the other end and what that turned into. So any fouls before the ball is inbounded is completely off the table for Fort Erie. Stay on your assignment, be in the body, but also got to be disciplined. Gael Bilodeau will be in to contest the inbound pass, the 6'10 forward. Will try and make Junior Goff's job a little bit tougher. Goff gets it in. Mugerwa trying to turn the corner against Ponga. And they're going to call the foul on Ponga. 8.8, Mugerwa to the line.
Personal foul on Fort Erie, number 14, Anthony Ponga.
There's the Fort Erie women's squad here to cheer on the men's team as they look to close out this game and improve to 4-1 on the season. Fort Erie dropped the season opener to the defending champs, Ridley College. Then they went on to beat Lincoln, Code Academy, and Houghton Prep on a 3-game win streak, looking to make it 4. Mugerwa has other plans, but misses the first free throw. Missed free throw in the corner. Fofana 3 off the front of the iron. Loose ball corralled by Yimga. They're going to intentionally foul him with 1.5, and that will just about do it.
And a big win for Fort Erie here, coming from behind at halftime, showing grit, showing resilience, and really not giving up until the final whistle.
Absolutely, learning from the mistakes they made in the first quarter to settle down, and they did it all without the high-flying act of Eli Jolin, who was handcuffed with foul trouble from start to finish. Yimga rattles the first through. The second rattles out. Sonny Joseph gets the rebound, and the final buzzer goes. 93-86, your final of the Battle in the Six, presented by Baseline Productions and Sports Canada TV. What a game it was, back and forth. Plenty of storylines, maybe none bigger than the performance from Promise and Landu.
Yeah, and what a game for Promise. Absolutely took over the game, fouled out late in the fourth quarter. Who knows, JJ, he might have had 35, 40 with the way he was moving the ball. I mean, just absolutely unreal, and just an amazing job for him to step up without Eli Jolin, obviously, like you said, having some foul trouble.
Dangan Gore, another contributing factor, obviously, to the win. Plenty of plays here and there from Junior Jean-Marie and Pierre-Charles Yimga. As we take a look at the highlights from this night and the battle in the sixth that was.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams started off the game getting downhill early, wanting to attack the paint, and I mean, both teams really scoring at will, and I think that was awesome. Right now, if we take a look, we can see that Fort Erie obviously surrounding Landu right now after his career game. Here he is with our sideline reporter.
Yeah, Haley Hopkinson, take it away.
All right, thank you, JJ. So Promise, you're no stranger to being player of the game. What is it about your teammates or the coaching that allows you to take that lead role in a 29-point performance?
You know, we've been playing together since last year. It's been a year, so now, you know, we feel like chemistry together and, you know, balls moving, playing defense together. It's a team thing, you know.
Not the strongest start we've seen from you guys, but you all really came together for this massive big win. What was the key to staying in it so you could eventually pull away with that win?
Chemistry. That's the key. Chemistry.
And then what's the biggest takeaway from this one, and what are you most proud of in this game for you and your teammates?
I think it's the way we were down and then we came back up. Yeah, we don't give up. We're dogs, you know. We're dogs.
All right, congratulations on the big win, everyone. Thank you so much. Back to you, JJ.
Thank you, Haley. Promise and Landu, a man of few words, but the right words. Chemistry and coming back from behind as we take a look at the complete game stats from this battle in the sixth, the final 93-86. Fort Erie improving to 4-1 on the season. What are the numbers that stand out to you?
I mean, the biggest thing to me at JJ is both teams didn't really shoot the three particularly well. Both teams had to rely on obviously getting into the paint, but the free throw numbers, both teams shooting lots of free throws and obviously converting on a high percentage of them as well.
The disparity from the free throw line was pretty large early in the game, and both teams ended up with 36. The offensive rebounds by Fort Erie, obviously a big part of the story, especially in that first quarter. They were unable to convert on the second chance opportunities, but found a way to come out with a victory. The next games for each of these squads will be coming up in November as the OSBA season rolls on. Plenty of opponents to tackle, different opponents presenting different challenges for both squads as they look to sharpen their skills heading into the stretch of the rest of 2025. As you see, Code Academy taking on Crestwood Prep from the Canada Athletic Performance Centre. That's going to be at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Royal Crown versus Inspire a little bit later that night from Royal Crown School. Polaris taking on Lincoln from the Playground, and Orangeville Prep taking on the runners-up from last year's OSBA Championship weekend, Houghton Prep. That's at the Athlete Institution. That will all be on Tuesday, November 4th. That'll be the next OSBA action, and we hope you can follow along all season because the storylines are beginning to write themselves. Promise and Landu, somebody we're going to be following closely. Obviously, Tony Najiofor didn't see his best performance tonight, but we are certain that we'll see more of what he can do in the future. Final thoughts?
Honestly, I just got to say, very impressed with Fort Erie. Of course, our player to watch coming in today's game was Eli Jolin. Obviously struggled, and I just loved the way other players on the team were able to step up and kind of fill his role.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in. For now, it's Go Jays Go for everybody here at the Toronto Metropolitan University, for Baseline Productions, for Sports Canada TV, for Haley Hopkinson, Ishan Thandi. I'm JJ Evison saying get home safe, enjoy your night, and thanks for tuning in.